There's a strategy Olympic athletes use to build unstoppable habits, and it doesn't even require any big life changes or willpower. The secret? It's not about huge leaps or shifts. It's about taking the smallest step possible. And if you can do that consistently, the rest will follow. Hi, I'm Avril. I'm a licensed therapist, and today we're talking about habits, how you can build them, how you get them to stick, and why it's easier than you think. If you want to build a new habit, start small and then scale up. The key here is to start with the smallest possible version of the habit. For example, if you want to start working out, make your goal just to start by touching the treadmill. The goal is to make the first step as easy as possible. When we focus so much on the end results, we get bogged down by all the steps that it takes to get there. Focusing on the first steps builds a strong foundation for where you want to go. If you want to get a new habit to stick, focus on repetition, not output. The process of habit building is about showing up, not about completing the full task every time. Going back to our example of exercising, don't focus on how much weight you can lift or how fast you can run. You can focus on the number of days each week that you show up, even if it's only for a few minutes. Consistent repetition reinforces neural pathways, which are needed to create lasting habits. And it can also create habit stacking or habit chains, which make it easier to start the new habit each time. This might seem counterintuitive to high achievers who like to focus on results, but the small actions lead to bigger results over time. I would even challenge you to see what works better and feels better. Setting the bar a lot lower than you think that you need to, or pushing yourself to show up at 100% every time. Get started each time. Starting is often the hardest part and the part that we forget to plan for. So focus on and simplify the beginning of your new habit. If I have a goal of working out on a certain day, I'll often put my workout clothes on first thing in the morning, even if I don't plan on working out until later in the day. It helps to reduce the barrier for me of having to get changed twice in the day by already being changed. And when I have meetings, I'll even sometimes put on my exercise clothes underneath my work clothes, just so that I have one less step to do later. And when I am at work and I'm writing, if I need to get started, I'll often just open a document and type nonsense on my topic just until I start to feel warmed up. Okay, this one might be a little bit hard for some of us, but we need to limit the number of new habits that we start at the same time. We need to give each new habit an opportunity to fully form before we move on to the next one. If you're trying to build multiple habits at the same time, like exercising, eating healthy, meditating, you end up dividing your energy between all of them. Spreading yourself too thin can often lead to doing each habit only a little bit. For example, if you start trying to do 3 new habits all at the same time, instead of doing 100% for one habit, you end up doing only 30% or 33% for each one. So here's a pro tip. Wait until you're sure that a new habit is ingrained before you start a new one. This is one of my favorites. Focus on what you get to do, not on what you don't. By creating positive associations for the new habits, you're more inspired and excited to do them. I discovered this one when I started thinking, I can put as many veggies on my plate as I want, instead of, I need to limit my portions to be eating healthier. And yes, it actually did work. Positive framing works more naturally with our brain's tendencies towards positive reinforcement. It makes new habits more rewarding, and it creates a more sustainable process. This combats common feelings of restriction or like you have to do something when you're building a new habit. When should you expect to see results? Well, don't expect to see immediate results. If you've made it this far in the video, you know that building a habit is a gradual process. Think of it as trying to melt an ice cube. If you were to turn the temperature up around that ice cube every day by 1 degree, you might not see anything happen for days. It'll take until it reaches the melting point, the exact right temperature, before you start to see that ice cube melt. So even though you've been making progress every single day on melting that ice cube, you won't see results until you reach that right temperature. So be patient with yourself and trust that these smaller, consistent steps will add up. Sometimes you actually just need to do less more often. If you live in Canada and you'd like one-on-one support from me or one of my associates on your habit building journey, you can check out my therapy website in the description down below. Consistent repetition, consistent repetition, consistent repetition, consistent repetition,